What's up, everybody? Louie here again. We got a really shitty card, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but this main event is just not exciting to me at all. Both guys are on a losing streak, but you got Alexander Volkov taking on Jairzinho Biggie Boy Rosenstrike. Should be a fun fight for what it is, but should not be a main event. Anyway, I'm just going to go through this really quickly. First fight on the night, 125 pounds, women's flyweight. You got Erin Blanchfield taking on JJ Aldrich. Arguably one of the most intriguing fights on the card. It's the first fight of the night. Go figure. Erin Blanchfield took on Miranda Maverick her last fight. I noticed she would dip her hooks and she'd be able to get around the back of Miranda, and then she'd transition from half guard and full guard and just do work on the ground. Second round, they'd get into a pocket exchange. She'd be able to get the plum tie, able to use the wizard kick, and then she'd get her down and she'd be able to go to the crucifix and then go for a Kimura attempt. Third round, she got pressed a little bit in the pocket because Miranda was down 2 rounds, but then she'd be able to back out of range, slip the shots of Miranda. But she got clinched to the fence, but she's able to reverse the clinch and get the high crotch takedown and take the back. And Miranda Maverick is highly regarded, in my opinion, and Blanchfield just kind of ran right through her. And then JJ Aldrich took on Jillian Robertson in her last fight. In the first round, she stands at range and she goes in and out with her jab. Then she steps in and lands some straight lefts. Second round, she lands some step-in jabs, but she gets taken down with the high single and she gives up her back, but she's able to reverse the position and then back on the feet, able to land a body kick. Third round, she lands some jabs and then a straight right, and she's able to stop the shot and pancake her and get on top. So good performance from her. JJ Aldrich plus 360, Blanchfield minus 490. I'm just going to go with Blanchfield basically because rolling through Miranda Maverick, who just won her last fight by finish. And JJ Aldrich is a tough competitor, but I just think the wrestling for Blanchfield is going to be too much. Aldrich might stuff 1 or 2 takedowns, but Blanchfield is going to have 3 rounds to work on her. Second fight of the night, 170 pounds, Renat Fakhretdinov taking on Andreas Michailidis. Renat took on Eric Spicely outside the promotion. In the first round, he circles. He's able to come off on the cage, feint the right hand. Then he lands a jab and an overhand right, just gets the KO right away. So make that what you will. And then he took on Johnny Carlos before that outside of the promotion. He hits a blast double, and then he jabs and he eats a flurry, but he's able to clinch it and get on top. And that's pretty much how it went. And then Michailidis took on Alex Pereira. He did really good with the wrestling, was able to get him down, control the first round, then beginning the second round, just gets knocked out. So, and then he took on KB Bular before that. Not the greatest competition, but first round, he lands some leg and front kicks at range. He lands some hard hooks, pushes him toward the fence, but he lands some wide hooks to the clinch, and then he lands a head kicks and then hooks and he's able to get to the clinch from there, and then he able to take his back toward the end of the round. Second round, he lands 1-2 in the pocket whenever he gets pressed. Third round, he eats some leg kicks at range. Andreas Michailidis plus 215. Renat is minus 265. Tough call, but I just think Renat, I think his if he's not able to get the KO right away, I think his wrestling is going to be a problem for Michailidis. Even Michailidis is a tough wrestler, so he might not be able to get him down. But I just think the power is going to be much for him. He didn't do well with the power puncher against Ferreira. Price is a little high, but I just have a feeling my pick here is Renat Fakhretdinov. Okay, and then third fight of the night, one of the more anticipated fights for me. Men's flyweight, you got Jeff El Jefe Molina taking on Zhalgas Zhumagulov. Third fight of the night. I don't know why this is here so low down on the card. It's pretty annoying, to be honest, but Molina took on Daniel De Silva his last fight. He eats some leg kicks at range, but then he's able to back out of range, and he gets touched up a little bit, but then he's able to start slipping some, and then his kick is caught and his back gets taken. He gets put in a backpack, but he's able to slide him off, and he defends some armbar attempts, and then he really goes hard in the ground and pound, really trying to win that round back, which I really like to see. And then in the second round, he lands a step in, straight right, and he drops him, and then he goes for back mount, and then just ground and pound, classic ground and pound TKO. So he has the potential to finish the fight. Might get a little rocky in the first round, but he finds his rhythm later on in the fight. And then Zhalgas Zhumagulov took on Manel Kape his last fight, lands a step in right cross, step in 1-2, and he's able to rock caught real quick. Then he eats a knee to the body as he's coming in, gets a little overzealous. Then he eats a knee to the body, and then a straight right in the pocket. And he jabs at range, but he misses some, and he eats a straight right, and he gets dropped. And then he eats a flurry on the fence and gets TKO'd. So he has power. He's dangerous really early. Gets a little too overzealous, gets a little careless. Zumagulov plus 160, Molina minus 190. I think as the fight goes on, I think Molina might even lose the first round, but as the fight goes on, I think Molina will find his range. Might even be able to get a takedown or two in there. If he gets taken down, you know, he doesn't accept the position, so I like that. My pick here is Jeff Molina, and you want to go under 2.5 plus 160. Not a bad play. Moving along here, 135 pounds, men's bantamweight. You got Johnny Munoz taking on Tony Gravely. Munoz took on Jamie Simmons his last fight. First round, he circles on the outside, pumps his jab, but he eats a short right. What he's shooting is high single. He jabs, hits it, ducks under, and he's able to get the body lock takedown, end of the round. Nice way to end the round. Second round, he jabs, ducks with the 1-2, but he's able to get the circular double leg. Then he locks around his stomach on the ground. Simmons turns in, basically gives him his back. Then he puts in the body triangle, rear naked choke submission. So pretty good work from him. And then Gravely took on Simon Oliveira his last fight. In the first round, he eats a front kick and a jump knee, and then an overhook, but he's able to get the gets wizard kicked into a guillotine, but he's able to defend that position. But then he's able to escape with the half guard, ground and pound, and then he's able to keep back on the feet. He's able to keep the underhook, and he's able to get the clinch on the fence. Really utilized on an underhook. Gets caught in a guillotine a lot, but you know, he seemed comfortable enough and didn't get submitted. In the second round, he lands a blast double immediately as the round starts. Back on the feet, eats some straight shots in the pocket, but he's able to hit the blast double, and he's able to keep the clinch and gets another takedown, and he gets around. He gets around the back, lands some ground and pound. Great way to end the second round. Third round, he eats a flying knee, but he's able to finish the double leg, and then he keeps a high guard, and he's able to return the hooks. I mean, he eats a back elbow and a knee, but he's able to get double through that, and then he lands a left hook and a straight right on the break. So some adversity early, gets caught in the guillotines, but he's able to get those takedowns. And I know Munoz is good at submissions, and I saw this fight as Gravely didn't make a ton, like Gravely didn't keep putting himself with the guillotine. I felt like he was comfortable being in that position, and he's learning when he's in trouble and when he's not. So that's another way to look at it. But Gravely minus 140, Munoz plus 120. It's a toss-up here. I like Tony Gravely. I think he might have some close calls, but I think he'll be able to get it done. It could get tricky if he gets on his back, but Gravely's a really high-level grappler, so I think even if he does get his back taken, I think he'll be able to defend and then learn from that, and then we'll put himself back in that position, at least I'm hoping. But my pick here is Tony Gravely, and over 2.5 minus 105. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Moving on, 155, men's lightweight. You got Nicholas Stolze taking on Benoit St. Denis. Stolze took on Jared Good in his last fight. Bounces at range, pumps jabs, eats a left hook, and he gets pressed to the fence. Then he gets taken out the double, and then back on the feet, he gets KO'd with a straight right in the pocket. Not much there. Jared Gooden, not the best competition, and he just got laid out by him. So before that, he took on Ramazan Emeev. First round, he gets clipped with hooks, and he circles out of the pocket, but he gets taken down with a single. Then he lands a straight right in the pocket, and then he's able to backs out of range of the shots. But then he gets doubled, and he tries the guillotine. Doesn't work, never works. End of the round, he lands a jump knee, and he rocks him. Great way to end. And then in the second round, he eats a straight right at range, and he's able to cut off the cage, but he eats a straight right coming in. Third round, he gets body locked on the fence, and he turns and gives his back. Eats a knee to the head, then he lands a 1-2 in the pocket, and he lands a jump knee, but he gives his back up on the cage. So, didn't like that. Just making some tactical errors at the end, giving up bad positions. And then Benoit St. Denis, he took on Elizeu Solecki dos Santos' last fight. And this is the infamous fight where he took way too much damage than he needed to, but tough motherfucker. First round, he gets the double off the fence. Back on the feet, he lands a head kick, but he eats a 1-2. He's pressing, and his takedown attempt gets stuffed at the end. Then in the second round, he slips. He lands a counter hook in the pocket, but he eats a counter right hook as he's rushing in, and then a knee whenever he's shooting his double, and then he eats a hook flurry. Zaleski was making him pay for missing those shots. But then he misses the overhand, and he gets rocked with a counter right, and then a flurry on the fence. And then this happens like 2 separate times in this round, and this is where it should have been stopped, but they kept letting it go. And then in the third round, he lands a body kick at range. He gets rocked with the step-in right hook, and his bad shot is stuffed. And then Santos is able to get on top. But then at the end, he lands a body lock trip on the fence. But then his clinch attempt gets reversed after that. So he hung in there, tough dude. And sometimes that counts for something. Benoit St. Denis minus 155. Nicholas Stolze plus 135. I like Benoit here. You're not going to put the guy away, and I don't think Stolze necessarily has that type of power, and Gooden just laid him out. So I think St. Denis is going to be able to get in there, get in the pocket, make it dirty. Just take a shot on him. My pick here is Benoit St. Denis. Okay, 145. Men's featherweight, you got Damon Jackson taking on Dan Ige. Jackson took on Kamwell Kirk his last fight. In the first round, he's at range. He gets clinched and eats some knees whenever he's coming in. But then he's able to slip a shot and blitz forward. And then he lands a straight right in the pocket. And then body lock, drag him down to the ground off the fence and lands some ground and pound. Great way to end the first. Then in the second round, he gets a body lock trip off the fence immediately. He transitions into full mount. He's goes back and forth, half guard and full guard, but he keeps landing some ground and pound, and he's able to get the arm triangle submission with like 30 seconds left to go. He sets it up once, doesn't get it, readjusts, goes back and gets it. I like seeing that. Then Dan Ige took on Diego Silva his last fight. In the first round, his kick is caught and he gets taken down, but he's able to shrimp out from the north-south position, get up, and he's able to push him down with a flying knee with a jab. With the straight left, and he gets his back, but he falls off. So a little too of results there. But then in the second round, he gets pulled into a guillotine, but he's able to get out and get the clinch to the fence. But then he eats left-right hooks off of his leg kick, gets countered. But then he eats an overhand and a straight right in the pocket, and he's not able to complete the single leg off the fence. Then in the third round, he's able to clinch to the fence. And then he lands an elbow off the break, but then he gets pressed with the blitz and eats some hooks. But he's able to get the double, and he's able to get around his back, but he doesn't put any hooks in. So just kind of getting it, trying to score points for the judges. Didn't really work out. Dan Ige plus 475. Damon Jackson minus 675. Crazy price, I know, but I think Damon Jackson definitely going to win this one. I really thought about it. I think he's going to be able to get him down pretty easily and probably get a submission. The supplemental bet, I'm not sure if it's going to be, I just really don't like betting KO or submission because it hasn't gone well for me lately. So Damon Jackson, my finish at all was minus 150. I think that's the play here. My pick here is Damon Jackson. Co-main event of the prelims, 155 pounds. Joe Solecki taking on Alex De Silva. Correio. Gonna call him De Silva. Solecki took on Jared Gooden his last fight. In the first round, he lands a left hook and a double, but he's able to take the back, gets both hooks in, and then he gets slidden off in the backpack position, pulls guillotine, doesn't work out for him, but it's only 30 seconds left to go, so okay risk for him. And then second round, he lands a body lock takedown right away, but Jared's able to keep the wizard, makes it a little tough for him, but then he's able to keep him. He keeps on him, and he's able to get the double on the fence, but he gets reversed with the wizard kick toward the end of the round, actually halfway through the round, and then Gooden just kind of rides it out. Then in the third round, he's at range. He lands a left hook and backs up, and he gets shot to the fence and then clinched by Gooden. Then he lands a straight right in the pocket. And this was a round where not too much happened, and Gooden was just able to have a little more activity, land a couple more shots. De Silva took on Brad Riddell his last fight. In the first round, he lands a step-in hook. He's able to get the blast double, but he's able to stuff the single leg attempt, and he's able to pull guillotine. Doesn't really work out for him, though. Good first round for him, though. This was about a year and a half ago, and, tough test in Brad Riddell. Then second round, he lands an underhook, clinch to the fence. He lands a jump knee, but he gets taken down, but then he's able to pop right back up. So, seeing that out of him, but I think Riddell edge out the second round. Then the third round, he eats a right cross. He's coming in, but he eats some hooks in the elbow at range. But he's able, his blast double attempt gets reversed with the wizard by Riddell. And then back on the feet, he eats a left hook and then a flurry, and Riddell really pours it on him. So relatively close fight. Riddell kind of separated himself at the end there. De Silva plus 145, Solecki minus 165. Another kind of a toss-up one, but I just think Solecki they're both good grapplers, obviously. I think Solecki's going to have success early. I think he's going to be able to get a body lock and take him down. And once he takes him down, I think Solecki's going to be able to play it smart and not get reversed, not get caught in a guillotine. It's a tough one, though. I could see Silva possibly pulling something off or even reversed in position. And I just really don't know. But I think Jared Gooden's solid enough. And Solecki was close with him. My pick here is Joe Solecki. We'll see, man. I don't know. Too many fights on this card. 150, and then the main event of the prelims, 115 pounds, women's strawweight. You got Felice Herring taking on Karine Kolakewicz. A rematch happened 2018. Don't care. Felice Herring hasn't fought in like 2 years. She took on Verna Jendroba her last fight. First round, she gets taken out of the blast double immediately. She gives up half guard, then full mount, gets submitted with the armbar. So, and then Kolakewicz took on Jessica Penne her last fight. In the first round, she's able to push her down, get on top, but she gets reversed. And then she gets reversed with a half guard sweep and then a body lock trip by Penne. And then she tries to throw a knee, but she eats some ground and pound. Sorry, she tries a knee bar, but she eats some ground and pound the whole time, and then she gets submitted with the armbar from top. So, you know, take your pick. This is just a whatever fight. Kolakewicz is the slight underdog, I guess, plus 100. Felice Herring hasn't fought in 2 years. Karolina has fought. She's fought some good women, and at least she's getting experience. My pick here is Karolina Kolakewicz. Don't put your money on this one. First fight of the main card, 205 pounds, men's light heavyweight. You got Alonzo Manifield taking on Askar Mazarov. Manifield took on William Knight his last fight. In the first round, he's able to reverse the He's able to reverse the single with a lat drop. Sorry, his single attempt gets... William Knight is in on a single, and he's able to reverse it with a lateral drop, and he's able to get into side control. But Knight is able to roll out of the back. They're kind of in like a headlock scarf hold position. He's able to get out of the back, and then he puts Alonzo in full mount and gets his back taken, and he explodes, but he's able to get the clinch. And then he back on the feet, he lands a 1-2, but he gets dropped with a check left hook and then eats some ground and pound after that. Then in the second round, he's able to hurt him with the right cross, and then he just pumps some jabs. Second, third round, not much happens. Then in the third round, he's able to slip the hook and literally clinches for the whole round. William Knight separates at the end. Might land, kind of landed some stuff, who knows. It was a weird fight. Don't know, but... you know, Alonzo looked good, just a little too hesitant, and didn't really do much. And then Askar Mazarov, he's fought in, I don't even know what promotions, but his last fight I could see, Evgeny Golub, round one, he drops him with a leg kick, and then hammer fist TKO. That never happens in UFC. Then he took on Konstantin Linik. First round, he lands a leg kick, and then a head kick, and he drops him with that, and then back on the feet, spinning wheel kick KO. So, I don't know, man. A lot of controversy about his record. Askar plus 200, Manifield minus 250. Alonzo Manifield is in UFC. He's fought some decent competition. He's had the experience. Askar, if he makes it past the first round, it's going to be in trouble. So I think like Askar literally might have 1 minute in him. I think Manifield will be able to slip that. Might be able to get a takedown. I'm just going to go with Manifield, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Mazar might just come out there like a madman, and Manifield might get clipped, but it is what it is. My pick here is Alonzo Manifield, and then Alonzo Manifield by finish, minus 145. The over-under, I was leaning towards the under, so if you want to take that, I'll do that. But I like Manifield by finish. Alonzo Manifield, please win this. All right, next fight on the main card, 125 pounds, men's flyweight. You got Osborne taking on Drewgadashev. Let me double check that one. Yes, okay. Osborne took on CJ Vergara his last fight. First round, he comes in with the 1-2, and then he backs out of range, and then he grabs a single, but he's not able to finish it. Then he eats a head kick against the fence. Second round, he throws a straight, but he eats a counter left hook, and then he gets a double from the pocket, but he's not able to hold him down, can't do much. And then he's able to catch the head kick, and he gets a takedown. He's able to get around his back, doesn't do much with it. Third round, he lands a straight right in the pocket whenever he gets pressed, and then he gets clinched and eats some knees to the body. Then he tries to get the clinch, but then he gets lat dropped toward the end. So, decent fight for him, I guess. Drewgadashev taking on Ryan Benoit. First round, he lands some leg kicks at range, but then he lands a right hook and then a jump knee, and then another hook in the pocket. But he eats a 1-2 off of his leg kick, but he gets pressured to the fence, but he's able to wobble him with a leg kick. And then he gets dropped with the hook flurry, but he's able to scramble and pull the guillotine in the standing position to kind of stay out of danger and just kind of end the round. Then in the second round, he gets cut off and he eats a hook, but then he circles out. Then he lands a knee to the head whenever he's level changing. Then he lands a combination whenever he gets pressed. Then he lands some more leg kicks, and then he slips the lunge hook of Benoit, excuse me, and then he's able to land some hooks and he's able to get the clinch. Then in the third round, he lands a 1-2 whenever he gets pressed on the cage. He skirts along the fence. He doesn't want to engage at this point, really playing it safe, but his leg, Benoit's leg has been chewed up, so I guess he's winning. And then he eats overhand, but he gets clinched, but he clinches and he lands a knee and then a hook. So, you know, he looked pretty good the first 2 rounds, but he gets dropped at the end of the first round, but his leg kicks were devastating. And Ode, I don't know, he got knocked out by MLK previously. He just kind of sticks and moves, and Zaruk kind of does the same thing, so I don't know. But you look at the betting line, Adashev plus 170, Ode Osborne minus 200. I don't think Ode Osborne's worth minus 200. I think I think Adashev can make it a dirty fight if he has to. And then as for the third round, playing it safe, I guess that's good and bad. Like, he doesn't engage in anything he doesn't have to, but also he might be down and think he's up. But for this price, I'm willing to roll the dice. Drewgadashev, I guess. Who knows, man? Who knows with this card? Next fight, 125 pounds, women's flyweight, Karine Silva taking on Paulina Botelho. Silva coming off the Contender Series, should have took on Yan Kuihai. In the first round, she landed a short right hook in the pocket. Her head kick is caught and she gets taken down though. But then I believe it's called mission control. I might be wrong, but she puts her foot around Yan's neck and controlling her with her legs basically. And she's landing some short punches and some elbows, doing some decent work down there. And then she attempts to go plata at the end. Kind of almost had it with 20 seconds left. At least she's working down there. In the second round, she gets pressed and she eats a body and leg kicks. But she's able to land some front kicks and then a 1-2. And then she's able to blast double. And Jan's doing a decent job of stopping the takedown. But Silva keeps on chain wrestling. She has a single at one point and then switches off to a double again. Doesn't let it go. I really like to see that. And then she pushes her to the fence. And then, but then they break. She eats a hook to the body, but she pulls the guillotine, and then she gets a submission. So Jan picks her up. Big blast double. Big mistake from her. So, you know, I like that chain wrestling. Not the best wrestler on the planet, but she keeps going for it. And, you know, that's what you got to do because she might be able to wear on Paulina as the fight goes on. And Paulina took on Liliana Carolina in her last fight. In the first round, she presses with some body kicks and some straight shots, but she's able to blitz, and then she gets a double off the fence and then work into half guard. Then in the second round, she is able to clinch to the fence immediately. She tries a body lock trip, but she gets put in a front headlock position with the wizard kick. And no chokes or anything, but couldn't get any offense off there. And then in the third round, at range, she lands some straights to the body and a kick, and then a kick to the body, and then she lands some hooks whenever Liliana steps into the pocket, and then she's able to get the clinch, and she's able to drag her down, but then she gets reversed going down, and then she gives up her back to end the fight. So basically, Paulina doesn't really do much. She's able to get that double, but then her takedown attempts start getting stuff later on in the fight. And Karine Silva, you know, I think she might be some trouble for Paulina down there. And Karine Silva, you know, she has some wrestling capabilities herself. I don't think she's going to go down easily. If she does go down, I think she might want to be down there. Paulina plus 105, Karine minus 125. I don't know, man. I just have a feeling. Take a shot on the new lady. My pick here is Karine Silva. You know, I think as the fight goes on, she might be able to catch her in something. Now, Karine, her fights previously, most of them go in the first round, but she showed that she's able to make it through the fight. And she might catch her in something. Who knows, dude? I don't know. I just got a feeling about this one. Okay, 145, men's featherweight. This is the feature fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen. You got Mike Trizano taking on Lucas Almeida. Almeida, the UFC newcomer. Trizano took on Hakeem Dawodu his last fight. First round, he eats a legs and body kicks at range. He lands a 3-2 combination, but then he eats a straight shot in return. But they both trade jabs but he eats some inside leg kicks whenever he's throwing, and then he eats a jab and a 1-2 at range. Then in the second round, he lands a left hook in a pocket exchange, but he eats some jabs and he gets clinched from whenever he's standing, just kind of standing in the pocket there. And then in the third round, he misses the jab and he gets clinched to the fence, but he's able to get the double leg off of the fence, but he's not able to hold Hakeem down very long. Then back on separation, he eats some 1-2s in the pocket, but then he's able to land an overhand at the end. Starts kind of turning it on at the end there, but too little too late. And then Almeida took on Daniel Zellhuber, his last fight in the Contender Series. In the first round, he presses with some wad hooks, but he misses the hook and he gets clinched to the fence, but then he lands a leg kick and then a right hook. Then in the second round, he throws some wad body hooks, but then he gets clinched and hip tossed into half guard, a little too overzealous, obviously, and then he eats a head kick at range, but then he gets tired and he starts missing some hooks, and you can see the decline in his cardio at this point. Then in the third round, he catches a kick, but he gets put in the plum tie and then he eats some hooks, and then he starts lunging for his punches, a little desperate, and they're just too short and he misses. But decent effort out of him, kind of gassed out though. Almeida plus 185, Mike Trizano minus 225. I don't feel comfortable. This is just one of those fights. If Almeida doesn't knock him out in the first round, I think Trizano's going to be able to take over. Trizano might be able to piece him up. Almeida lunges too forward too much, overextend himself. Trizano might even be able to get a clinch and take him to the ground. My pick here is Mike Trizano. Co-main event of the evening, 145 pounds, men's featherweight. Actual banger. Dan 50K Ige taking on Movsar Evloev. Pretty important bout. Evloev trying to climb the rankings. Dan Ige trying to stay relevant. He's going to be more than a gatekeeper, or is he just going to be a top 10 test? Dan Ige took on Josh Emmett his last fight. In the first round, he gets dropped with the overhand right at range pretty quickly, but he's able to recover, get back on his feet, and then he starts pumping his jab at range. Looks good at the end of the round. And then in the second round, he sticks and moves with his jab, and then he lands a blitz to the body, or he'll go to the body or the head. Then later on, he shells up, but then he lands a left hook and a rocks him whenever Emmett's coming in. And then he starts slipping the hooks at Emmett. Looks pretty good, pretty loose on his feet. Then in the third round, he's able to press forward, but he misses some hooks and he eats a straight right. And then his single attempt gets stuffed, and he has Emmett biting on some fakes, but just can't really do too much with it. Pretty close third round. I thought Ige lost the first one convincingly. Second one, I thought he had it. Third one, could go either way. Decent performance from him, though. And then Movsar Evloev, he took on Hakeem Dawodu his last fight. In the first round, he lands a step-in overhand right. They both exchange jabs, and then he hits a single and he trips him down, and then he pops back up and he follows him with a double, and he's able to get around the back, throwing some mat returns there, and keep him down for the rest of the round. Then in the second round, he gets a step-in trip to a double leg inside the pocket, and then he's able to get to his back again, and then Hakeem explodes in, but he gets him right back down, right back into the clinch, and then he's able to get his back, and then he kind of extends and just lands some hammer fists from the back and does some damage. Then in the third round, he comes in, goes for the collar tie, then lands an uppercut, but then he eats a hook whenever they break. Then his double attempt gets stuffed, and then he misses with a right cross, and he eats a left to the body and the head from Hakeem. But then he eats a jab when he's coming in, and he eats a check left hook. And he tries to get the tie up again. Then he eats a straight right, gets a little rocked, but then he's able to follow up with the high crotch and secure the top position for the last minute. So things got a little hairy there, but he pulled it out. Now, Movsar is minus 400 and Ige plus 300. And I don't know, man. We saw it when Ige fought Korean Zombies the last time. He got taken down pretty easily. And I feel like Evloev's going to get his back, but I think Ige is going to be able to do some damage at some point. But he's not a huge power puncher, so I don't think it's going to be enough. And I'm going back and forth on this one. If you want to put it on Ige, I don't blame you. Great dog spot. I just don't see him getting it done. I know the price is high. I just think Evloev's going to get his back. Probably win the first two rounds. Maybe Ige puts up a good fight in the third round. Kind of rallies. Might hurt him a little bit. But my pick here is Movsar Evloev. Whatever, man. Okay, the main event of the evening, 265 pounds, men's heavyweight. This is a banger. It's a good fight, fun fight. Should not be the main event. And I'm not going to waste a lot of time with the research here. It is what it is. It's two heavyweights, like top 10 heavyweights, not the highest level. And the line's relatively close, I guess. Volkov took on Alexander. Drago Volkov taking on Drizano. Biggie Boy Rosenstrike. Volkov took on Tom Aspinall's last fight. I know it's not like the best data from that, but I just want to see what he looked like recently. And then he gets pressed, eats a 1-2-3 combination from Aspinall. He gets pressured toward the fence, then eats a leg kick and a 1-2. So if you can get him backing up, he's pretty. It's, obviously Volkov likes to work the jab, wants to stay at range. But if you can press him and back him up, he kind of doesn't have anything to offer there. And then Rosenstrike took on Curtis Blades his last fight. First round, he presses forward with the hooks, gets in Curtis's face pretty quickly. Doesn't do a whole lot, but, that can knock him off his game. But he eats a jab standing at range, but he catches the kick, and then he throws a hook and just kind of explodes forward. He's a little sloppy with it. Then he tries to slip Curtis's jab and then rush him with hooks. Doesn't really land, but there's some movement there because Drizano, a lot of times it was kind of hold back and look for one big shot, like against Sakai. Like kind of nothing happened in the first round, and then gets that big power shot at the end and knocks him out. But Drizano plus 150, Volkov minus 170. It's going to go one or two ways. Volkov's going to keep him in range and jab him up, probably get a 5-round decision, or Drizano's going to get in his face, press him, maybe get a knockout or TKO. And money line here, plus 150. I don't know, man. It's not a good main event. I think I'm going to go with Rosenstrike. I know realistically Volkov's just going to jab him up, but I don't know, man. I think Rosenstrike looked pretty decent against Curtis Blades on the feet. And he does have knockout power. Volkov doesn't have knockout power. Rosenstrike just needs that one shot. My pick here is Rosenstrike and over 3.5, minus 145. I think that's a decent option. All right. Thanks for rolling with me, guys. I appreciate it. Honestly, just want to get through this week. Next week, you got the big pay-per-view. You got Glover Teixeira taking on Yuri Prochazka. And this card is not really good. Just want to see some money. Hopefully we win. Let's see some violence, and let's profit, at least a little bit. Thanks, guys.